Hey guys, what's going on? So I have the details from today's meeting between the MLB owners and the MLB Players Association. So I'm gonna feed you the specifics on it, and we'll obviously talk about it more on the live stream tonight. So I hope to see you there. But before you do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button to this channel if you haven't subscribed yet to learn about everything that's going on with the lockout, breaking news after, and everything that happens in free agency and trades. So I did get a piece of information today too from a couple of folks, Randy Wilkins and some other folks, and it's been kind of circulating around Twitter now, where the Yankees were actually close to a significant move before the lockout happens. It sounded like they were more likely. It was more likely a trade because they have not expressed an appetite at all for spending in free agency until they know what the parameters of the new collective bargaining thresholds and all that stuff are. So it sounds as if they were close to a significant trade. So that could be encouraging. I don't have the details yet. I'll get them. And once I do, I'll feed them to you. But with that, let's get into the details here. So initially, the MLB Players Union wanted a $100 million pool, bonus pool for pre-arb players to be distributed based on performance and stuff. MLB initially offered $10 million. Now they bumped it up to $15 million. They're still $85 million apart, the owners and the union. So the union wanted 100, the owners are offering 15. That one sounds like a joke. So next is pre-arb salaries. The minimum salary for pre-arb was 0 to 1 year, 0 to 2 years, 0 to 3. 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to 3 years of experience before they go into arbitration. So MLB Players Union wanted a flat rate of $775,000 for all 3 years of pre-arb. That was, a hard no from the owners. So the minimum for this past year for 0 to 1 years was $570. Now the MLB owners have today offered, let's see, $615 for players with 0 to 1 years, then bumping up to $650 for 1 to 2 years, and then $725 for 2 to 3 years before going to arbitration. So a decent, a decent increase. And initially at 2 to 3 years, they had bumped it up to $700. They had to bump it up to $725. So they're moving in the right direction. We'll see how much. I mean, that's pretty significant. Increases in each year is based on pre-arb players from previous numbers. So I would imagine this is probably an area where MLB Players Union is going to have to compromise a little bit. So that's a step in the right direction, in my opinion, from the owners. But the fact is, they still need to play these young. They need to play these young, pay them, and play these young kids. So now the competitive balance thresholds. This is one of the real big sticking points, aside from service time and other stuff. This past year was $210 million, and then you have tiered levels after that. And MLB Players Association wanted to start that new level at $245 and go up to $260. MLB had offered $214 to $220 over the next 5-year period. The only thing they've done here is bump up the $220 the last year to $222. So that's another kind of joke there in terms of collective bargaining threshold levels. And that's at the very bottom level over the next 5-year period. So that I could see the Players Union saying, call us back when you're serious, really. Because there are a couple things where I like the fact that the owners are compromising, but this type of stuff is a complete joke. So, I could see I wouldn't accept it either if I was president of the Players Union. So, that's that. And then teams will receive 2 draft picks according to the new proposal if a star prospect finishes in the top 3 of any major award, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, MVP, blah blah blah, rather than 1 pick. And it's as a way of kind of disincentivizing service time manipulation. So, it's essentially, we'll manipulate service time less in this regard. The MLB wanted service time bonuses tied to awards voting, so we'll see where they meet in the middle somewhere. But those are the main meat and potatoes of today's meeting. The players that were represented and that were there said that it wasn't an awful proposal, but they're still disappointed, and they still have a way to go. So there are, obviously certain parts where the Players Union is going to have to kind of compromise, but more so the owners are going to have to compromise a little bit more profoundly than the Players Association here. So that's what happened today, and no deal was made, obviously. So, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if I were the Players Union, I would immediately counter. Don't wait another week, you guys. And the fact is, they wasted the whole month of December. It's kind of pointless now hashing over it, but they wasted the entire month of December doing absolutely nothing. Just one in the corner, and in the other corner. That's it. They did nothing. What a complete waste of time. Set everybody a month behind. So, unless something happens. And they also, MLB also gave them a calendar today, offer the Players Union some kind of calendar timeline in terms of starting the season and whatnot. I do not have the details of that. I haven't seen them disclosed anywhere. So, they're obviously going to be analyzing this stuff and look it back to them. And again, sooner than later is a better thing. If you guys want to start the season close to on time or on time, you got to not. What's the point with these? Why waiting a week or 10 days to respond? I mean, you have hundreds of people representing you, all these high-powered lawyers, and like, let's get something done here. At least is to minimize the damage that's already being done by you guys. So, but anyway, that's what happened today. We'll talk about it more tonight, and I have a great weekend if I don't see you tonight, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Over and out.